Hey guys, it's Dory. I'm back with an update. I am folding laundry. So I am putting away clothes and matching clothes because we have been on school break for Christmas and New Year. Happy New Year. Today is January 2nd. But we return back to school tomorrow, school and work. That's one of the perks of working at a school is that I get the same vacations off as my children. And so we've been on school vacation. There's so much to cover because I have not been like recording videos. I haven't really posted anything to Instagram for a while. So I figured I would do it now while I'm upstairs. Hopefully nobody hears me talking and wants to come investigate who mom's talking to. But anyhow, so what has happened? Let me give you guys the rundown. Okay, let me start from the beginning. My name is Dory. I am 50 years old. I am 5'4" tall. On September 12th of 2016, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery with Dr. Darren Tischler in Hartford, Connecticut at Hartford Hospital. My highest recorded weight was 350 pounds. My surgery weight was 300.5. My goal weight was about 160, sometimes 150. Now my goal weight is actually about 145. I reached my lowest adult weight, which was exactly 3 years ago, like 3 days ago. And that was 156.3. This morning I was 164. I was like in the 160s and 170s for a long time, for years. And then I started on October 12th, a weight loss surgery or weight loss injection, weight loss medication that is a daily injection called Saxenda, Saxenda. They do have another one called Wegovy, and that is once a week. But unfortunately, because it works so well, there is a shortage of Wegovy, and so they are prescribing Saxenda. Now, I did hear Wegovy is now back in stock, but I'm not sure if I'm going to switch or not. It would be nice to only have to do an injection once a week versus every day. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Saxenda as far as taking it or not taking it and things like that. So I started out on October 12th, I was 182. And now I think I'm week 12, week 13. I stopped really counting. I just got distracted, I think, by the holiday, by, I don't know, just a lot. I just got distracted. And so I haven't really been weighing in on the exact day, but I know I had stayed. I got up to 3.0 dose, which is the highest dose, on to week, I believe it was like 5. And then it felt like it wasn't working. I got my hunger back and all of this. But what I didn't realize, which I've found out since then, is that basically you should stay on the 3.0 just going forward and just give it a little bit of a chance for your body to kind of work up to knowing that you have it, and then the hunger will go back away. So that's what ended up happening. So I probably stayed the same for 3 weeks. And I was kind of experimenting. I went back to 1.8, 2.4, 3.0, then back down to 1.8 just to kind of see. I don't know what I was seeing actually, but I thought maybe the 3.0 wasn't working, whereas the lower dose was working. And so I kind of was trying to feel out for that. And so yes, this is how I fold my towels, and I put them in my closet like that. But anyways, that's a side note. So basically that is what happened as far as, the dosage. And so I ended up going back now to where I'm not hungry, I'm not craving things, I'm not having the nighttime munchies, which is great. So as I said, I'm down to 164. Since I've been on break, like the last few days, I've been having a glass of wine. And so I think that's probably going to plateau me until I get back into working starting tomorrow, which I don't really have wine ever. But I just had some because it's Christmas and New Year's and all that. Um, so that's as far as the Saxenda. I love it. I think it's amazing. I think I can definitely get down to 145 doing the Saxenda, or if I'm going to be switched to the Wegovy. As I said in the past, I'd love to get the Manjaro, but that is not even out yet for weight loss, so I probably won't even be able to get that. So let's talk about what else is going on. So, not weight loss related, but just life related. I left school on December 23rd. It was a half a day. I was going to take a half a day, but then my husband was home, so he was getting my youngest daughter off the bus. So I decided to stay a full day in school. We put our kiddos on the bus, one of which I'll just say his name is S. I don't know if I should say it on the internet, but his name it begins with an S. And great kid, his para, I used to be in his class, and for the last month I was switched to a different class, so I didn't see him in class, but I would see him, I had him the whole time, September through November, or even the early part of December. And so great kid. As you guys remember, I am a special needs para, so most of my children that I work with have ADHD, autism, and most are nonverbal. If not nonverbal, they have only a few words. So anyway, so this boy named S, I put him on the bus a little after 11. His bus was late. It was cold out, so I was like, holding him like up against me so the wind wouldn't get him. And it was just a typical day. And then that was on Friday. About 1:30 that afternoon, my husband texted me. I was still at work, and he's telling me he got into a car accident with my 8-year-old and that I needed to come quick. And I didn't know what I was going to drive into. I didn't know if they were hurt, if they were bleeding, if they were in the ambulance. I didn't know. I did see an ambulance there. I got there. They were fine. Some lady took a wrong turn into the lane, and he was coming, and he hit her back door. The insurance hasn't ruled whose fault it is, but I think it's going to be a 50-50 split. But that was that. So, we recovered from that Friday evening, went home, finished the rest of our day. And then Saturday morning, I was, that little boy with the S initial, he has a tendency of like chewing on straws and things. He just loved straws, and his family, he had a caregiver, apparently, who was one of his aunts, and the family member sent him in with this. It was like a zip tie that was fed through a straw. But anyways, he kept throwing it when we were waiting for the bus. So the other para took it away from him, said, hey, so-and-so, don't throw it anymore. We're going to take it. And it was getting dangerous. He was throwing it under the buses that were there. And so it was just dangerous. So I took it and put it in my pocket. And so Saturday morning, I just had put on my coat because I was going somewhere, and I reached in my pocket, found this thing, threw it in the trash. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have S's, straw. Let me throw it into the garbage. So I did. Went shopping. I think it was Christmas shopping, last minute shopping, that was Christmas Eve. Got home and then opened up Facebook, and it was about 12 and a half hours from the time I put him onto the bus, and I see a house on fire. And I knew this was his house. The last time I had asked his bus monitor when he started coming, because we didn't know who had custody of him or anything. We wanted to get some information. So I was asking her, does he live in a house, halfway house? Where does he live? And so she explained to me he lives, near this bridge, and it's the house there above this store. And so I knew exactly where it was. So I pop open Facebook, and they had just posted active fire. And I see the 3rd floor is fully engulfed. And so I hurried up and texted my teacher and said, hey, log on and tell me where S's house is. I need his address. And she said, I don't have my laptop. I left it at school for our vacation. She said, let me log on to my dad's. I said, hurry. And I sent her a picture of this fire. She sends me back his address. And at the same time, she was sending, he's on the 3rd floor, and I was sending the 3rd floor is on fire. And so I didn't think I was going to cry. Hold on, I have a child that's probably going to try to come in here. Guys, I'm recording a video. Shut the door.
Okay.
Go ahead. Shut it all the way. If you need something, you can ask Daddy. And so anyways, so I knew that he was up there. They were saying that a 5-year-old was trapped up there. 15 of the other family members had gotten out. They, I guess, lived on all 3 floors. But he was trapped. And so I knew that it was going to be really hard to get him out, being nonverbal, and probably being scared. So I was hoping that it was wrong, that he was trapped. A couple hours later, we got confirmation that he was pulled out. But during the rescue, he went into cardiac arrest. And they brought him back and transported him to the hospital. So we're trying to get some information. And even now, it was on Christmas Eve, and today is January 2nd. We haven't heard the official cause of the fire. He was in the hospital for several days, hooked up to a ventilator and life support. And so his family wanted to let him go, and I won't get into specifics, but a certain family member didn't want to. And so they made him hold on. He was having seizures and everything while he was on there. Hold on. And so finally the other day, our little angel got his wings. Only 5 years old. And it's a great comfort to know that he was saved from this cruel, cruel world. And that he's up there with Jesus. And that he has one of the biggest straws he wants. The best Legos. And that he's no longer nonverbal. So tomorrow will be the first time that I go into the school since he's been gone. Now, luckily for a few of us paras, 3 of our paras, 3 of us paras that worked directly with him our assignments were changed, which is fine. That happens often. And so anyhow, so I will have a new class that I've been in for a while. I'll go in we have an AM session and a PM session for this pre-K. So I'll be in that class all day with one of the other paras that used to work with me and then went into that class and now is going to be back. And then the third para, who is actually the one that brought S out to me for the bus, she also got her whatever you call it, her classroom switched, which we knew this before this all happened. This didn't happen because of this. And so that was very detrimental. That was crazy. It was Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, a couple days after, just all of us paras talking together. All of us were very close anyways. I love the school I work at. We're extremely close. And so we had been just talking back and forth about what we think. And a couple days ago, the vice principal went into the school with the teacher and was able to look through the things that we had possibly left over to give to his mom. I spoke with his mom. I spoke with his stepdad, which ironically, my oldest daughter knows his stepdad. So we were put into contact with each other. And so I got to talk to several aunts, his mom, his dad, his stepdad. And so we are going to gift the mom these things that were left. Now, obviously on Friday, we had sent home a lot of his artwork and a lot of his things. A picture with Santa that was taken on the Wednesday, and this happened on Saturday. So it obviously was lost in the house. So we're going to have the picture reprinted. And then he did have a couple of pieces of artwork there, and he actually had a straw that they found behind a changing table. And so they're just going to gift that all to his mom, which I think is really, really, really important. I just really wanted to get into that school to make sure that we got that. So anyhow, so it, he's at peace, and which I'm so happy. I really am. There could have been such a crazy outcome, um, and he would have had a long road ahead of him. But I'm just so grateful that he's in heaven enjoying Legos and straws, and his favorite shape was a triangle, so I'm sure he's making his straws into triangles. But anyway, so that was on Saturday. Then we had Christmas on Sunday. It was great. We had a great time. I had a great Christmas. Because of this Saxenda, I don't really crave sugary things, so I wasn't, I didn't overdo it on Christmas or anything. And so, let's see, that was Sunday, Monday. Oh, and then Wednesday. So Wednesday, I think in a previous video, you guys, I had gotten into that I needed to take a test, a paraprofessional test that is called Work Keys, because I don't have an associate's degree. And so we had to take this, and I have to pass it in order to fulfill my job. I had until December 31st. I asked for an extension until January 31st, but our school department is offering the test for only $12 versus $100 at the community college. And so I jumped on that and I took it on Wednesday and I passed. So I'm so relieved. That was hanging over my head. I was so scared I wasn't going to pass. I passed. I'm so thankful. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 of us at school that took it at my particular school, and we all passed. So I'm so thrilled. And that was on Wednesday. And then on Friday, this past Friday, today's Monday, so last Friday, I had a biopsy on my right breast again. If you guys remember, I had a biopsy and it came out to be a cyst, and they removed a bunch of the junk, and it was horrifying with the pain. The pain was horrific. Then after it healed, there was still like a little bubble there. And so I went in and they cut it open and took it out. And that was another piece of that cyst. They sent it away. Everything came back fine. Well, since then, they had done a ultrasound and found 2 other little things that do not look like cysts. They think they're benign, and I'm praying they're benign, but we biopsied them on Friday. So that was, numbing me up, going in, taking the tissue samples, and they put inside it's called a clip. And it looks like a staple that's been closed, half of that. So basically, they put that in for 2 reasons. One, if it does come out as cancer and it has to be taken out, they know where to get it because they put the clip there. And 2, if it's benign, every mammogram and diagnostic ultrasound that I get every year will see those, whatever those things are, and will trigger it. And so if they see the clip, they know those have already been biopsied and we're all set with those. So I am very religious about getting a mammogram and a diagnostic ultrasound together, because it's like 85 or 90% of women have dense breast tissue, and I have dense breast tissue, and that's the tissue that you can't really see. Like, you really have to know what you're doing, and you could definitely overlook something. I don't have breast cancer in my family. I don't have any history of anything. I don't smoke. I don't, any of that stuff. So they're not too concerned, but if you guys could pray, because, anything can happen. I can be the first one in my family. And so anyway, so that was on Friday. I should have the results by this Thursday. It said about 5 business days, so not including that Friday, I'm sure. So it'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Thursday, Friday-ish, maybe even not until next Monday. But in any event, that was the other thing that has happened recently. And so, I'm just going on with life. Things are great. 2023 is going to be a great year. I have when we file taxes in January, my husband is actually going on a military tour of duty coming up in the beginning of February for a couple weeks. And so he'll be gone. So we're going to try to file taxes in the 3rd week or so of January. And so when we get the money back, I have like paying off a ton of debt, putting money away, money for Christmas next year, money for vacations. And so hopefully getting rid of some of that debt will really alleviate a lot of the stress. And that'll just open up for great things to be done in 2023. So that is my update. I will let you guys know what I weigh in. So today's Monday, and I always do a Wednesday weigh in, and that kind of is the Wednesday I started Saxenda, and I forgot. I think it's got to be like week 13, week 14. But anyways, this Wednesday I'll update what the weight is, and until then, take care of each other, and thanks for sticking around.